Are you still active in the baseball school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
33 years. I know. I just love it. I love the kids, man. I have so much fun with them.
Talk about that too.
Yeah, I mean, I used to think they needed me. I need them more than they need me.
Right. Yeah.
Because they keep you going, all right, let's go.
Hi, I'm Tom Burns from the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Today we're with inductee from 2024, Rick Lancellotti, former Buffalo Bison, former big leaguer, baseball coach to all the Western New York Stars in Western New York. Rick, thanks for being with us today.
It's definitely my pleasure. This is a unique experience to do something like this. So I'm just glad to be part of it.
I've talked to you a couple times since the induction, and I think that we get into the grind of putting that dinner on, and it's a lot of work, but we forget sometimes the impact it makes on the actual inductee and the night that they have with their family and friends and coworkers and whoever else, and talk about that. Like, we talked about it once before the dinner, but the dinner now 2 years ago almost for you, but still rings true to you, doesn't it?
Like it was yesterday. See, the thing is that people don't see a lot of the stuff that goes on before someone walks up on that podium.
Right.
And they think, oh, he just wrote this up yesterday. But the problem was that they told me in March, and we didn't go on. I think you told me. Was it you? You called
probably,
me.
Yeah,
it was like March.
Yeah.
And I'm just driving around, and all of a sudden, I get the phone call, and you're like, oh, you got inducted. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I was like, I had to pull over. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then I got to call my wife, and of course she calls the kids, and the thing was, you're going to be inducted in November. I'm like, geez, March to November.
Yeah.
I got that's like 6
a lot of stuff to go on, right? Yeah.
I got 6 months to think about what am I going to say, and I got to do it. And then Steve Ulmer, who was my, what do you call it?
He was your host.
The host, yeah. And he says, you got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to tell your life story. I'm like, how do I do this? I gotta thank. There's so many people you have to thank, and it's just not. I don't like to ever make it about me. It's just the way I felt when I played, how long I played for, just the fact that I think I had more perseverance than talent.
Sure.
And to think about all these emotions that go through trying to come up with 5 minutes. Of your life to kind of explain it to everybody.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah,
it was a challenge.
We make it tough on you. You're gonna be a Hall of Famer. We're gonna make it tough on you.
Yeah, exactly. So then all of a sudden you're sitting there, and we're on the podium, and you never know what people are talking about. It's like when they have a meeting at the mound. They're basically talking about some restaurant they want to go to later on, just to give the guy a break. But rarely do they go over mechanics. They're just kind of giving a breather. But we're up on that podium, and we're all looking like we're very calm. But I got I can't think of his name. The hockey player who was there.
Oh,
he was
Adam Page. Was that Adam Page, the Paralympian? No.
The hockey player. Played for the Penguins. And,
I'll come back to
we'll get to it. Anyway, he's like, Rick, I can't do this. Now, we've known each other for like 5 minutes.
Right.
You become so bonded because you're about to do the same thing, and nobody really wants to do it because you're afraid you're going to mess up.
Right. Yeah.
And he goes, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And then the woman beside me, she's like, I can't do it. And she's like sweating. I go, look, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. In the meantime, I'm freaking out myself.
And were you Gronkowski's class too? Was that your class?
Yeah.
So you got him up there too, right?
He's up there ready to take on the whole place,
Yeah. Orpik, Brooks Orpik was the
Brooks. That's right. What a great guy,
Yeah.
And so we're talking, and we're trying to calm each other down, and then you look out there, and there's like 500 people there.
Yeah,
700 people out there. Yeah, and it's a bit rough.
Yeah. But leading up to it too, you go through the part of getting your pictures taken with your family and talk about just the excitement of all that. And it's hard to take it in. It's like a wedding, right? People always tell you about your wedding, like try to remember it because you're going to forget it. You're not going to remember anything.
Yeah.
And it moves so fast, but it's the same kind of idea, right?
It's the same kind of a deal, but at least in a wedding you have like a partner.
Yeah,
so
right.
you
sure.
can bounce stuff off.
Right.
But there you're like alone, and you just feel so alone, and you're thinking, of all these things that led up to the fact that you're standing there with all these people who are pretty high up in the sports world and things like that. And, sometimes you're like, man, I don't really belong here. And you know, and I'm like, because I think that was the first question I asked you. What are you calling me for?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, everything you've done for everybody. I didn't think I did anything for anybody.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I've been teaching at the Buffalo School of Baseball, you know, for 33 years now.
Right. Yeah.
And like I was still telling you earlier, I said, as I get older, I realize that, you know, I feel like I need them now more than they need me.
Sure.
You know, because they keep you going.
So we were talking about the age thing, right? And as you get older, sometimes though, you do reflect back on certain points in your life. Like if you look back, and for you, it might be making the big leagues or whatever else. But now, have you reflected back on the dinner since then, and start to think about how cool it was? It's hard to in the moment, but how cool it is.
It's a lot easier now.
Yeah.
Looking like I was, you know, I sent Duke McGuire a text and congratulated him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, good luck when you stand up there, because they got a stopwatch on that podium. It's got 5 minutes, and that was literally true.
Right.
Sure. You got 5 minutes. I'm like, so now you're looking at the watch and you're trying to talk at the same time. You can't do it. So I took my notes and I put it right over the watch.
Smart.
I go, look, I have an idea what 5 minutes is like, but I'm just going to kind of wing it here. And so when I got done, I asked Ulmer, I said, how? He goes 6'6.5". I'm like, oh, jeez. Yeah. But looking back on it, it's such an honor that you can't imagine that this dinner has these people all gathered together that have so much talent. They're just, I'm looking around going, oh, I don't know if I fit into this crew, but these people are very talented people. But all of a sudden, like one day you're being honored to do these things, and you don't really feel like I didn't do this to be honored. I just did it because I love doing it. But all of a sudden, you know, you're looking out at this crowd, and they're looking at you like, all right, Rick, let's go. You know, so you better say something. And then I started thinking about my mom and my dad, that I wish they were there. And then my brother came in from out of town, and that was really nice, you know, to see him, because he was kind of the reason that I got as far as I got.
Okay.
And for no real reason, like he didn't take me aside and say, hey, let's work on this or that. It was the opposite. He was 2 years older. He didn't want me hanging around him. And it was always like, I'm going to beat the crap out of you if you beat me. I mean, whatever it was. We're playing basketball, I'll beat you. Hockey, whatever it was, you know. But I always looked up to him, and I always tried to be as good as he was, just so I could play. They would let me play.
Right. Yeah.
And he'd say, look, you better do good. Like we're playing football. You better do good. Right. Or you'll never play here again, and then I'm just going to beat the crap out of you anyway. So, you know, when he was there, you know, I'm like, I got to thank him for that. Yeah. And then there's my wife sitting there, and my kids are there. And I mean, when all this started, you know, there was no wife and no kids. And I still remember, like, the time when I got called up. The first time was San Diego, and I remember standing in the on-deck circle, and I just could not get over the fact that I was there. I'm just looking around, and I'm like, oh my God. And all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, just whatever you do, don't strike out. Just don't strike out your first at bat, because somebody's going to ask you one day, would you do your first at bat? And I don't want to say I struck out.
So what'd you do in your first at bat? Well, there's somebody. I'm going to ask the question.
Well, I struck out. I struck, and I was so mad at myself. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to tell my wife that I struck out. My kids. I wasn't even married yet. I didn't have any kids.
Yeah, right.
But someday they're going to ask me, you know, and I don't want to have to say I struck out. And what do? I struck out. And I went back to the bench. I was so mad. And they're like, Rick, don't worry about it. It's just your first at bat. I go, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That was the problem. It was my first at bat. And they're all laughing. They all thought it was so funny.
Who's on the team? Tony going on the team?
Tony was on there. Yeah. Tony and I were.
I bet he didn't strike out that day.
Great guy.
I bet he didn't strike out.
I don't think he ever struck out. He didn't strike out. He goes, Rick, just don't strike out. I said, oh, okay, I'll be like you. Just stick your bat out and get a hit. He was amazing. And he was just as nice a guy as he was amazing.
His numbers. I mean, some of the stat things that are crazy. Yeah. You mentioned the baseball school, and could you guess how many kids you've coached over the course of time?
Well, in 33 years, thousands.
Yeah,
I mean, thousands. Be right. Yeah.
And how rewarding is that?
It's incredible. You know, when I got done playing, after 17 years of playing in pro ball, and then you come home and all of a sudden you're not doing it anymore. Like I'm going to do this, because a friend of mine in Las Vegas had a school, And I talked to him about it in my last year in ball. And I go, tell me about, he goes, well, you got to get a building. You got to do this. You got to do that. And he goes, you're not going to get rich. And I said, well, I don't need to get rich. I want to enjoy what I do. I want to love it. Yeah. And he goes, well, do you love it? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, then maybe it's for you.
Right.
And so I got a building, and I got, I did all this stuff. And then the phone started to ring, and I'm like, my mom, I go, Mom, I could really use your help. So she was answering phones, and she loved it because she was a people person. So these people would come to the desk, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I had to hire another instructor because I was getting too busy. And then before you know it, I had like 5 or 6 instructors going at the same time. It was a ball, man. It was great, and it still is. I still love it.
But the feeling of seeing a kid come in who maybe can't swing a bat, even can't make contact, can't whatever, and then watch them progress through the years.
And I told my instructors, and I said, look, I don't want these kids coming in here and leaving with a sad face. This is a happy time for 30 minutes out of their day, because they got pressures too.
Sure.
They have homework and they have things going on in their life. I don't want them to feel like that when they walk in. And if you can get them to relax and enjoy themselves, then they'll listen to you. So I'm not there to turn a 10-year-old into a big leaguer by 11. I'm just trying to get him like one level higher than where he is.
Right.
So some people thought that I was only teaching high-level travel kids and stuff. And I go, no. We start at all levels.
Right.
And then all of a sudden that you see that kid, and then he makes his team. I mean, the joy in his eyes, and just to see that, it's just, and it amazing. And to this day, that I have kids who didn't make their team last year, I go, well, we got to fix that.
And you probably saw a transition too, where you have boys, now you have probably boys and girls, right?
Yeah.
A lot more girls involved.
A lot more girls.
And that's got to be fun to watch that kind of change and develop, right?
Yeah, and they listen so much better. I don't know what it is with you girls, but man, you guys listen really well.
And they have more fun at it. They have more fun at it. They have more fun at it.
They do. They're like, oh, you want me to stand on my head? And I'm like, yeah, do that. And like, okay. You tell a boy to like move his hands from here to here, and they're like, oh, I can't do that.
But the girls have more fun.
Just try it. I just tell kids, just try it. Like if it doesn't work, we'll throw it out. We'll try something else. Yeah. But girls are a blast.
And that's quite an evolution then to see kind of that.
It is. And the way it's been going, I mean, it's turned into like a 12-month sport.
Right.
It used to be like 4 months on, 4 months were okay, 4 months off. Now it's like 10 months on.
Yeah.
They have like a month or two, and then they're going indoors and.
Well, and not to get too far down the road of what you're talking about, or you get too serious, but there's that talk of too much training in one sport, right? You talk about playing hockey and football and all those things, and there's that. And your goal is to have kids come in, have fun, and maybe get a little bit better. And how important is to have that kind of vision and mission for them versus high level training.
I got to keep explaining to them that, like, I said, you might look at me and think I worked out 12 months a year, 365 days a year. I didn't do that. I took time off too. Right. And I said, that was my profession. I needed to get away from it or my head was going to explode.
Sure, right.
So you need to just play all the sports, because all the sports give you coordination in those sports. It gives you different outlooks and different teams, different game. Mm-hmm. And then as you get older, you start getting into that sophomore, junior in high school. Right. Where you feel, you know what, I'm better at this sport than that one. I think I'll pursue that one. But you're doing it at 8 or 9, you're going to lose your mind.
Right.
Because you haven't even hit puberty yet, and that changes everything.
Yeah.
So I try to convince them to do everything. Just do everything. And then all of a sudden something will come out. When I started, I moved from New Hampshire to New Jersey. So in New Hampshire, it was skiing.
Sure.
And I was a better skier than a ball player.
Right. Okay.
So I wanted to ski my whole life. Mm-hmm. But then my dad, who was in insurance, got transferred to New Jersey. Well, there's no mountains in New Jersey.
No skiing in New Jersey.
No skiing, right? Everything's flat.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, so much for skiing.
You listen to Bruce Springsteen or you go do something else, right?
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so I started playing ball more.
Yeah.
Because the focus was there, and I just couldn't focus on baseball because skiing was always in the way. And then it was amazing. Like, I always think, what happened if I don't move?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Would you make the big leagues?
Yeah. Would I make it anything?
Right.
Yeah. But
maybe Olympic downhill skier.
Yeah, you never know, right?
I mean,
I
make
didn't
them
know
that tall, but
yeah. But that was a ball. We had the mountains all around us, and,
Sure,
and
right.
then we moved away from that, and then I guess it was right at that time I was going into my junior year.
Right. Okay.
So I was kind of down on school after that because I was so mad that we moved.
Right.
And then so after my senior year, I was going to go into Marines.
Okay.
I wanted to be a Marine. I just thought that was the thing to do. And this is in New Jersey, in South Jersey, and this our coach from Rowan University, which used to be called Glassboro.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
2 days left of high school. He comes to our school and, what are you doing in the fall? I go, I'm going to the Marines. And why don't you try out? He talks me into trying out. And there's another road that I could have gone down.
Sure, right.
And could have been Marine.
Right, right.
And okay. He talks me into going. 3 years later, I'm getting drafted. I'm like, wow, how did that happen?
It's amazing how little things in life that just kind of change a little direction.
And that's why that's why I appreciate, I appreciate it so much that I don't take, I look at the sport, I look at the game, I looked at my pursuit, and I just thank God. I'm like, man, I can't believe that happened.
Sure.
Well, and I loved it so much, but that doesn't. A lot of kids love it so much,
right? But not even to go that much further with this, but you end up playing for the Bisons in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right.
How about that?
How about that?
I know.
You had ever been to Buffalo before?
No.
Probably not. Right. And,
no.
And now it's for 30 some years in your hometown, and just that little thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And the Pirates
change your life trajectory.
Who happened to be the AA. It was AA back then instead of AAA now. AA, and the AA Pirates team was Buffalo.
Right, yeah.
So there's another coincidence because the girl I married is from Buffalo.
From Buffalo, right.
Right.
Did you meet her here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
it was a big party, and that's how we met.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, it's all these things that happen in life, and it just is almost like bizarre, just like, wow, how did that happen?
Yeah, the world moves in funny ways.
Because here's a guy like myself. I was the smallest guy in the team.
Right.
Smallest guy in the team growing up. I didn't hit my first home run until I was a junior in high school.
Really? Okay.
16 years old.
Right.
I didn't hit any in Little League or nothing.
Right.
And now I hit 3, so big deal. And then senior year rolls around, I hit 3, big deal. So nobody's coming after me. I got no looks. And this coach goes, what are you doing? I walk on, and I put some weight on. I got stronger, and all of a sudden, he showed me something in the way I was hitting that changed everything for me. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing.
Sure.
Like, what if he doesn't know that?
Right. Sure, right. If he's not in tune to hitting.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so all of a sudden the ball going out of the park. Whoa, what's going on here?
Well, we could go on for an hour
talking
about this stuff. We're not going to do that. But before I let you go, the dinner this year is September 24th.
Yeah.
And so it comes up a little bit quicker than even you had it because yours was in November.
Right.
But when you think about this year's inductees, I know you mentioned a text to Duke, but what advice do you have for them as they prep for the dinner?
I don't know if they want my advice.
Not even the speech, but just the dinner and
the thing. If the advice I would have is, like, I was told in March for the November thing, and I could not sleep. Like, I kept going over, what am I going to say?
Right.
If any advice I can give is tune everything out, and then about 2 weeks left to the dinner,
lock in.
Then start saying, okay, now what do I want to say? Right. Otherwise, your life is consumed with 1,000 different Post-it notes, and what am I going to say? And I can't leave this person out, and I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
How come you didn't mention me?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got to mention the family. You got to get that first.
Right.
Mom and dad are first. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't be there without them. And then your family and your kids. And I wanted to thank my daughter Katie and my son Joe, and there's Debbie out there sitting there, and my brother Mark, and I was just. Then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, geez, and there's this guy. He's going to, how come you didn't mention my name? You just keep it small, keep it small, and just, try to, I always try to say something lighthearted because that's kind of my nature, but I actually do it to keep myself loose.
Sure, right.
Because if I get tense in there and tight, I can't even open my mouth. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, right.
But as far as a dinner, you got to go get a tux, and that's. Boy, that gave me a rash for like a week. I'm like, I wear a tux, and it's just such a big night. You might as well just soak it all in and take it all in and find somebody there and stick to them
person. Right. They're your anchor.
Yeah, right. Let's go over here. Let's go over there,
Former member of the Buffalo Bisons, former big leaguer, baseball coach and instructor to thousands of West New York boys and girls over the course of time, and a member of the class of 2024. Rick Lancellotti, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Bernsey.
All right.
My pleasure.
Be well.